Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is the chorus.
Yeah.
This is
Anyways,
In Frame.
welcome to In Frame. And today, what's in Frame? Today,
Us.
we are in Frame. Base Beacon is in
Base
Frame.
Beacon is in Frame.
My name is Dixon.
My name-
J.
My name is Veronica Teixeira.
I'm Siseko Ntutu.
And I'm Chatham Teixeira.
Okay, so in this episode, we just want to talk about why Base Beacon, why did we create the platform that we have, why did we create the podcast, why did we create the educational platform with all these amazing softwares and things, why do we intend to create this masterclass and all the things, nice things that we have planned. So you just want to share why is it actually needed?
Saying it would mean a lot is an understatement because we, in varsity, we used YouTube. That was the school for us, you know. No one's going to come into the studio and teach you how to use Revit. No one's going to come into the studio. It's just like you learn on your own. So I think what Base Beacon offers is sort of like more than that, the YouTube tutorial, because there's steps some people, you know, don't go over, they assume, you know. But with Base Beacon, the added benefit is that you are able to interact with us, and we can offer you, you know, the extra hand, whatever you may need, you know, depending on, you know, what you need. So I think it's really beneficial in that regard, that there's this sort of like community for you, you know, that's there 24/7 whenever you encounter a problem. And the courses are just like the cherry on top. Because
I think everybody should expect us filling the gaps, essentially. The masterclasses and what we are designing and soon to you'll see on the platform is to take what you're learning in varsity and kind of bridging that gap between your academic and your workplace endeavor.
And I think also what makes the platform a little bit different from other platforms that are, I'd say, similar, is that we are going to be hosting some conversations with just ordinary people in practice, ordinary people that are in education or in the academic space, and ordinary people that are just exploring. I think there's so many facets that architecture offers, and we're here to, I'd say, place those on a platform for everybody to like be aware that this field has so much to offer, and it doesn't start and stop at the building. It actually it's beyond. I think architecture is beyond the building, and I think the platform allows you to see in what way does architecture expand beyond, you know, the edifice. And I think having something in the context of South Africa, you know, with people of color, talking about these things, talking about
Very
issues,
important.
things that are exciting, things that are relevant and current. It's so important just to keep us motivated, you know, and keep us like kind of inspired.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is the chorus.
Yeah.
This is
Anyways,
In Frame.
welcome to In Frame. And today, what's in Frame? Today,
Us.
we are in Frame. Base Beacon is in
Base
Frame.
Beacon is in Frame.
My name is Dixon.
My name-
J.
My name is Veronica Teixeira.
I'm Siseko Ntutu.
And I'm Chatham Teixeira.
Okay, so in this episode, we just want to talk about why Base Beacon, why did we create the platform that we have, why did we create the podcast, why did we create the educational platform with all these amazing softwares and things, why do we intend to create this masterclass and all the things, nice things that we have planned. So you just want to share why is it actually needed? And so to start this off, since Siseko is not Siseko is young in terms of graduating, I just want to find out from Siseko, what does a platform like this mean to you, if you were a student
Mhm.
and this kind of platform that Basebecon has launched, what would it mean to you, for example? Just to start the conversation.
Saying it would mean a lot is an understatement because we in varsity we used YouTube. That was the school for us. No one's gonna come into the studio and teach you how to use Revit. No one's gonna come into the studio. It's just like you learn on your own. So I think what Base Beacon offers is sort of like more than that, the YouTube tutorial, because there's steps some people, don't go over. They assume, but with Base Beacon, the added benefit is that you are able to interact with us, and we can offer you, the extra hand, whatever you may need, depending on, what you need. So I think it's really beneficial in that regard, that there's this sort of like community for you, that's there 24/7 whenever you encounter a problem. And the courses are just like the cherry on top, because that alone is just, the package we give to you for you to enhance your skills and to develop those skills. But the community, I feel like, is the core of it. So it's really something that would have gone a long way for me back in my days in varsity.
That's interesting. For me, I think this idea of this platform was also for us to find ways of giving back. And because I personally have taught myself so many things, right? Going to YouTube to learn things, but it takes so long to learn something because you don't know the steps to follow. So you pick this tutorial here, you pick this one here to hope that it will all make sense at the end, right? And so it took me long to learn so many things. Whereas here, because most of us are educators as well, I've taught for 6 years at the graduate school. Veronica is still teaching, Chad has taught as well. We kind of understand how it means to want to learn something, right? Or to teach something.
Definitely.
And so we've been able to kind of structure it in such a way that it's easy to consume, right? It's easy for students to follow and to understand. So what would you say about the masterclass? Like, what should people expect to come?
I think everybody should expect us filling the gaps, essentially. The masterclasses and what we are designing and soon to you'll see on the platform is to take what you're learning in varsity and kind of bridging that gap between your academic and your workplace endeavors. The masterclasses are going to be designed in such a way that it is interactive. We want questions. We are not going to do this in isolation. We need the students and even practitioners, their questions and their input, because what we are finding is that, like Siseko is saying, is that they and Dixon are saying that we do not want you to just rely on piecemealing different YouTube videos, because then it's not tailored to you, and it's not tailored to essentially an African context. So what we're trying to do is with and what we're going to do with the masterclasses is to fill that gap and actually create a tailored experience as architects, as practitioners, as academics, and as people who are practicing on an African continent, how we can utilize these softwares and materials.
And I think also what makes the platform a little bit different from other platforms that are, I'd say, similar, is that we are going to be hosting some conversations with just ordinary people in practice, ordinary people that are in education or in the academic space, and ordinary people that are just exploring. I think there's so many facets that architecture offers, and we're here to I'd say place those on a platform for everybody to like be aware that this field has so much to offer, and it doesn't start and stop at the building. It actually it's beyond. I think architecture is beyond the building, and I think the platform allows you to see in what way does architecture expand beyond the edifice.
One of the things that comes to mind, or maybe a question that maybe a student could ask is, well, I'm being taught Revit at school. That's what I use. Why do I need to learn Blender? Why do I need to learn Rhino? Why do I need to learn all these other softwares if what is required is Revit? And I think for me, I have a personal experience in that, right? So when I started my practice, it was basically a visualization company when I started it. And so I remember getting a project that was made in Rhino. And when they gave me the file, actually, first they asked me, what format should we send the file to you in? And I asked them, what did they use? And they told me, no, they use Rhino. And at that time, I'd kind of touch and go on Rhino, but I was not really skilled in it. Then I said to them, no, it's fine. You can send me the Rhino file. They sent me the Rhino files. And at that time, I was in two minds. I was like, okay, maybe I should tell them that I'll remodel this thing. But I realized if I say that, I might lose the job because they will think of time, right? But when you're working on a visualization work, the work kind of go back and forth. You get feedback and all that. So you should be able to work with the person in whatever program he's using. So I said, no, it's fine. You can send me the Rhino file. And I spent nights, hours, just kind of learning this thing again to get myself back in tune into Rhino, even though it is not something that I use in my daily practice, right? But at that moment, because I had that skill, I was able to secure that project, right? And also one thing that I've also realized is the understanding of workflow, right? That sometimes what happens is that students don't understand workflows. Yes, they know that they need to work in Revit, but they don't understand. They don't know what it will mean if I have something from SketchUp, or if I have something from Rhino, if I have something from Blender. What does it mean to kind of integrate all these things, right? Sometimes I work maybe primarily using like a Revit file or something, but most of my assets are from Blender, Rhino, because it gives me the flexibility to model anything that I want to model. And then I take that into a rendering software like D5 or V-Ray or whatever it is. So understanding of also workflows becomes very important, which the platform also touches on, which I think is quite interesting. Yeah.
I think experiencing as a student, a lot of the times it's more because a lot of the projects are brief specific and specific to the whether you're doing design, construction, or whether you're doing a specific thing. I think with this platform, because of the amount of software capabilities and what has been provided on the platform, a student can choose how they would like to respond to their brief and not necessarily default to like a specific I was gonna say Revit, a specific software that they learned in the school. I think it's now the opportunity to diversify what you can do and how you can respond to a brief and give yourself a competitive edge, or even just something a little bit different, especially if you're interested in making your architecture do more than the static. If you're interested in now looking at how to animate some of your spaces, then it is important that you know how to utilize those other collaborating softwares so that and the pace at which you learn them will actually hopefully be in tune with your project, because you'll have people that are willing to assist in terms of you kind of understanding how to use the software. So for the student, I think the amount of softwares that are available on the platform could potentially give you a lot more of a better design or output, like a better product or a better output than just your mundane class class way of looking at the brief. Yeah.
I think it's also, we're just offering tools. We're just expanding to your toolkit. And whether you're a Revit user, SketchUp user, or even AutoCAD, we're just giving you extra tools for you to express your work. And we're not saying that everybody's going to go into architectural practice. They may go into foam or game design or any other field that has some sort of architectural background. We're just giving you the tools And we want to give you these tools so that you can become a broader artist, a broader practitioner, a broader way of telling your story. And even if you never use Revit again, you still have that background, like you have an opportunity like what Dixon had, where he just needed to gain that one particular skill, relearn it, refresh it, to gain that particular project.
What would you say to a student that is saying, well, there's AI now. Why do I have to learn Blender? Why do I have to learn D5? There's AI. I can just click render and it will render it for me. What would you say to such a student? You know?
I can maybe jump in here. I personally see AI as a part of a process towards making an architecture happen. So I have no reservations when it comes to the use of AI, but I definitely believe that it becomes unsustainable because AI cannot repeat itself. So, for instance, you can elevate your building today, and then tomorrow want the other side, and it would change something. It will change something of the original side that you had originally asked it, and it's because it's so inconsistent. You have no control. So once you use it as maybe part of your conceptual process, I think that's an amazing thing to do. But I think to actually give your client or your lecturer what they're actually looking for, you need a lot more control on your design. So it is important to have all those other softwares in your back pocket so that you can have control of your design and your building and whatever it is that you're making. Because AI unfortunately can't offer you that much control. So I think that's the one side. Yeah.
Sekou?
Yeah. What she's speaking about, there's a design project I was doing, and I was trying to get like a certain aesthetic. Same prompt, but I would just adjust the model to sort of like help AI, but it would produce different iterations. So I can attest to what she's saying. So yeah, you do need to have the fundamentals, before you jump onto AI. Like she said, it's a helping tool onto what you're doing. So what the courses offer, I feel like they take you from like a beginner's level and all the way up to an experience level, and you can sort of like explore anything. And then you can add the AI to that or integrate the AI into that, like what D5 has to offer. The D5 AI, and so it's really amazing.
I think it's quite interesting the way we set up the platform in a way that in the first release it's really about basic stuff, trying to get people to understand how to use the programs, basic understanding of modeling, of making, putting things together. And we're looking forward to expand that knowledge and move into more advanced sort of ways of tools, different tools, which I think is quite interesting. That if someone is on the platform, it's not like you only have an access to only one thing, but you have access from beginners level all the way to advanced level, which I think is quite exciting. Anyway, for me, I think what is important is that we are creating the platform for you guys.
Yes.
We are creating the platform for students, for architects, and so we would like to hear from them.
Yes.
Yeah,
we would like to hear from
ask
students,
questions.
ask questions. If you go to our Instagram page or any of our social media page, you have any questions, just tell us.
Yeah.
What are you interested in seeing in our next release? In terms of the masterclass, we are excited to touch on the still like an artist and all those things, which is I think will be quite exciting to share. But yeah, I think that is in a short way describing what the platform is and why we created it.
And also the conversations we'll have on the platform. I think the podcasts, having the myriad of people coming in and contributing, I think is something that hopefully adds to the broader conversation of architecture. Because I think it's ever-changing. Doctors don't do this. So we
don't know what they are thinking.
We don't know what they're thinking. Like so many other fields don't do this. And I think having something in the context of South Africa with people of color,
Mm.
talking about these things, talking about
Very
issues,
important.
things that are exciting, things that are relevant and current. It's so important just to keep us motivated, and keep us like kind of inspired to a certain degree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so engage with us. We are very open
Yeah.
to have those conversations. Yeah.
You can even suggest what you want to be in frame next time. See you next time. Bye for now, guys.